Hi, everybody. We're back today with another episode of Howie's Hometown Heroes, where we feature business owners, entrepreneurs, and community members who are doing extraordinary, amazing, and terrific things in their community. Today, we're in Bloomingburg. This is very special. I got to say this just right. Bloomingburg, New York, which is in Orange County. So there's a lot of little places around in that area where you could think it's one, but it's really the other. And we're here with my good friend Paul Odendahl. I've known him for years. He's an amazing guy. Just a couple of things that he is really good at, has done all kinds of good stuff. He really appreciates the opportunity to be able to teach. He teaches a variety of things to a variety of age groups. That's really awesome. He's going to tell you a little more about that. And he's got an amazing wife, April. I would like to meet her sometime just to be able to say
This
hi.
too will happen. This too will happen,
Okay,
Howard.
excellent. I'm looking forward to that. And his latest passion, he's got a lot of passions for sure, but is helping seniors. He's got an organization called Simons for Seniors. He'll tell you about that too. If you remember Simon, the game with the different colors and you bang the thing. So a really clever way to maybe bring a better quality of life to seniors in a way we might not have thought of, right off. So that's a very cool thing. Anyway, we're looking forward to have a great conversation. So thanks for being here, Paul.
Thank you, Howard.
Yeah.
What a great introduction. What more can I say?
Oh, you can say is what's a fun fact? Tell us a fun fact about you. We would say, oh my God, I didn't know that, Paul. What's going on?
You know, a fun fact that you do not know, Howard. You know about my Felix the Cat collection.
Yeah.
You know about my passion for Simons.
Yeah.
But you do not know that I have quite a few knitting needles and I like to knit hats and scarves. See, you didn't know
Yeah,
that one,
I
Howard.
didn't
See,
know
I
that one.
always have a
You
surprise for you.
always
You were
got a
expecting the
surprise.
pizza. You were expecting the
Or
pizza.
pizza, or the
World
Minnesota
class,
Vikings,
or
or
Minnesota
the
Vikings, or the New York
the
Yankees, or
geese, or the whatever. Okay.
fun
Well,
fact,
there you go.
likes to knit.
Yes,
Likes
likes
to
to
knit.
knit.
Very
There
good
was a
athlete.
guy. Who was that? There was like a big football player years ago.
Oh,
Who used to knit.
From the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Maybe
I think it was Mean. I'm pretty sure it was Mean Joe Green.
Joe Green. Yeah,
Yeah,
could be.
yeah.
Yeah. It was funny seeing him, like a photo of him with the needles doing
But
stuff. So
thank you for bringing up the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's one of my Super Bowl
another.
losses. You're not doing well on this podcast here, Howie.
I know. So not everybody, jumps in and hijacks the podcast, but we'll see where we can go. So let's go back a little bit, just a couple of years. Tell us about some of the things you teach, and that's kind of where we'll get started.
You know, teaching is what I've been called to do. So teaching is a tremendous passion. It goes all the way back to age 5. I won't change my background picture and show you that kindergarten picture, but seriously goes all the way back to age 5. Where in elementary school, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Everybody wanted to be firemen, police officers, doctors, lawyers, and the little guy wanted to be a teacher. He was like the only one that wanted to be a teacher. So always wanted to be a teacher.
Good.
And through this life, the opportunity has presented itself. And when I retired from the insurance industry and the sales, management, and building of agencies
Yeah.
in 2009, I began to really focus on teaching, though I started driver education in 1997.
Uh-huh.
So I teach driver education, especially here in the state of New York, but now offer assistance across the nation, and insurance education, pre-licensing, preparing people for
Yep.
an outstanding career like yourself. You're another great representation of our industry and the career that I love.
Thank you. That's how
And
we got
also do,
together. Yeah,
and that's how we got together, and continuing education. That's how we
right.
got together. I also
That's right.
offer continuing education across the nation.
Mhm. So very cool, very cool. So that's nice, teaching all kinds of different things. And so tell us a little bit about that trajectory of starting in the sales and sales management area, and how'd you transition to
So the
teaching?
the insurance industry came about, the opportunity came about. Another fun fact that you are aware of is early in my life, I just absolutely loved making pizzas. and worked at a pizzeria called Joe's Pizza here in Newburgh, where I was born and raised for a few years while I was going to college. And I had a horrific automobile accident
Mm.
that put me to the side for a bit. And they actually thought, Paul, you may not walk again. And chiropractic care and medical care made a difference in my life, and also the mental positive attitude of
Mhm.
that's not gonna happen. And while going through rehabilitation, I was introduced to a company called Prudential and got the opportunity to become a sales representative for Prudential. And in my second year in my career, I was out on a call and I understood about life insurance, and I was licensed in life insurance, and I
Yeah.
went through training in life
Yeah.
insurance, and I understood that it was an opportunity to have protection for a family and a death benefit in a time of need and all
Mhm.
of that, but I really didn't live it until one day. In many of the policies that I wrote a policy on a family, and only 5.5 hours after I wrote the policy and collect the check, the gentleman suffered a heart attack and died.
Mhm.
And on a $375 check, I went back to deliver after the company did their investigation during the contestability period in the first 2 years. Went back and delivered to a woman with three little daughters a $425,000 check.
Ooh.
And in my early 20s, when I then discovered what a difference that makes and watched how
Yeah,
she
for sure.
reacted in gratefulness and understood the power of a pen, just a pen and a signature and a piece of
Mhm.
paper, and the difference you can make in someone's lives, that cemented me and catapulted me in the insurance industry.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing story. And uh, so, how did you feel? I mean, certainly the woman who got
Well,
the
how I
feel
felt,
is,
yeah,
yeah,
how I felt is what happens now.
yeah.
So I am so grateful for the opportunity to be on a podcast with you and share this industry and career, because
Mhm.
now I'm asked often from companies like the company you represent,
Mhm.
Primerica, from WFG, from PFA, from Alliance,
Mhm.
Mass Mutual, from companies. I'm asked to come in and speak to new sales representatives.
Aha.
And from the heart, and I say it on this call, that, of course, my opinion and my life experience, that this is the second greatest calling to being a pastor. So what you do, Howard, is tremendous.
Yeah.
What I have done for years is tremendous to protect people in their time of need. And
Yeah.
there's no greater calling other than being a pastor, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what happened. That's the change in my life. That's the understanding of the calling. And it was just a blessing to serve the communities that I built 5 agencies in, and to serve the people that I've had an opportunity to serve right up to this call.
There you go. Exactly right. I mean, that's kind of why I'm doing it too. And it really, when you see the faces on the people you're giving those death claim checks to, and what a relief they have, even though and usually, insurance is so cheap compared to the disaster, that could befall a family without having that in place. It's crazy not to do it. Not to do
We
it. So,
call that in the education business aleatory. So a small exchange of premium
oh, for
for a large benefit.
benefit
And there's the example
example.
for licensing individuals for our
Sure.
state license. A $375 check
Hmm.
ended up being
Insurance.
$425,000 for our family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what the power of insurance is all about.
Yeah. That you hope you never have to do, but when you have to do it, it's the right thing to do for sure.
And
Yep.
then a blessing in today's age for you and I is now we spend more time, and it has evolved since I started in
Hmm.
1982. It's evolved to really talking about the living benefits
Hmm.
of life insurance. And I know we're not here to talk about just life insurance,
Right,
but
right, right.
there's a lot of
A lot,
living
a lot of
benefits
stuff that you can do
now
too.
that assist people. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. Very cool, very cool. So you've been hanging around in this insurance world for a little while. What kind of
A little bit, a little
change?
bit.
Yeah, so what kind of changes have you seen in the last, however many years. I'm not going to do the math. How many?
Well, 40 plus years.
40.
And,
Okay.
and one of the changes, as I had mentioned, one of the changes has been that when I was introduced to the industry and when we went out to speak to people, we spent a lot of time in focusing on protecting the family left
Hmm.
behind and just looking at it as a last expense. So now you fast forward to current times and we look at it not only as last expense, but there's a lot of opportunities to build cash value. There's opportunities to leave a legacy for
Hmm.
families and generations to come. There's an opportunity to utilize the policy in a time of need where you haven't passed, but maybe you're suffering from a certain
An
disease or
illness or something.
condition.
Sure.
It could be medical bills that
Hmm.
are accumulating because of dealing with cancer or any of the diseases that sometimes we have to struggle with. And maybe you have just a short period of time left and you want to spend some of that short period of time and enjoying life
Yeah.
in those remaining
Sure.
days. So there's a
Sure.
lot of what we call living benefits now also available.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's very cool. We'll move forward in a little while. But so tell us about the senior. What was it? Simons for seniors. How does
Simon's
that
for
all work?
seniors. What a blessing. So into driver education, in the last, well, driver education, I
Oh,
actually
and
have a
driver education.
class. Yeah,
Yeah.
driver education is where the senior uh, opportunity comes from.
Oh.
In driver education, which I started in 1997. In the last couple of years, for whatever the reason may be, the senior centers in the Hudson Valley have said, "Where's Paul?" And
Hmm.
senior directors are saying to one another, "You want Paul teaching in your senior center? What a blessing."
Hmm.
And I give a reduced rate to the seniors as opposed to the rate to the general public. But even the rate to the general public, I'm
It's
far
very cheap.
below the
Yeah,
other,
it's a bargain for sure.
yeah, for the other people that are out there teaching. So with the seniors, it's been a blessing to meet them. It's been a blessing to work with them. And during our pandemic, thinking about always giving back,
Yeah.
which is what we do in BNI. I'm a BNI member, Givers Gain, and I've always wanted to give back since I was a little guy. Even teaching has progressed from, and we don't have the time on a podcast. It could be a two hour movie here, but has progressed from me teaching in junior high, teaching
Oh,
mathematics in junior high and staying after school, and my mom being concerned about me getting home on the late bus and all that.
yeah.
Teaching mathematics in high school, starting before that automobile accident at SUNY New Paltz with a secondary ed major
Oh,
and a major in mathematics and computer science. So it's always been about teaching and giving back. And in these classes that I'm teaching at senior centers, I have one coming up tomorrow, which is class 2,715. So now 715th
2,715.
class since 1997.
Amazing.
So I've taught a few classes. And in the senior centers, I've really enjoyed working with the seniors. It's a great audience. And during the pandemic, I have a lot of, another fun fact, Simons. Matter of fact, I'll change the
Can
background
you,
for your
yeah, show what that
viewers.
means?
Yeah. Simons, the younger generation, I laugh because I say, have you ever heard of Simon? They haven't
No
heard of it.
idea.
But when you show the picture, everyone seems to remember,
Even younger people not remember this?
even younger people when they
Oh,
see
okay.
the picture.
Okay.
So this all came about two ways. One, working with the seniors, wanting to give back. And what motivated and moved me was just prior to the pandemic, I gave one to a friend that I've known since she was a teenager
Hmm.
who's struggling with brain issues caused by
Mm.
Lyme disease
Oh.
and really having difficulty just functioning in general. And I gave her one of these, and over 4 to 6 months of working with the Simon on a daily basis, she started to make great improvement, went to the doctor, and the doctor cognitive memory is being helped by this
Oh.
Simon.
Wow. Fascinating. Huh?
So I said, this would be something great since I own 115 of them. This would be
115.
something great to
Yeah.
15 of these little guys, bringing them to a senior center and letting seniors. Now, first I thought about it as an entertaining activity for seniors. I see them participated in a lot of activities there
Yeah, yeah,
besides
yeah.
my education on driving. And then I didn't think of the social aspect of it. So as I started to introduce it to the Middletown Senior Center, two of the people that worked there, with the director, ran out to buy Simons. And when I came the next month to teach, they were like, oh, they were so excited. I bought the Simon and I'm using the Simon and I'm sharing it with my grandchild. And I
Ah,
didn't think of the social
other
aspect of it.
aspects.
I was just thinking of the helping of memory functions aspect of it. And I
Oh,
started to see some of the medical research out there on the internet about how Simons have assisted.
it's you.
And with
You're not the
with
only one
medical,
who
yeah, there's
figured this out.
medical,
Yeah.
right. But I'm the only one thinking about bringing it to seniors.
Yeah. Okay.
So originally it was to bring it to seniors as something
Fine.
entertaining, have
Right.
some fun,
Yeah.
play with it. Their generation remembers Simons
Yeah.
or their kids having
Yeah.
Simons. And now I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is more of a social aspect too, where it brings generations together. And then I'm going to make this part of a whole senior wellness program. So the
Great.
goal is to make this a program where we're helping with wealth or health and memory and cognitive memory and a lot of things that they're seeing and being able to I'm not sure tactile, but being able to
Yeah.
touch, feel, and work with their
Right. Right. Right.
senses as a senior playing with these Simons.
That is awesome. I mean, what a spin-off of something that was just a fun thing turns into a huge change in really the quality of people's lives after that. Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Yeah. That's the great.
That
Wow.
is the goal.
Wow.
The Simons for Seniors website is just launched
Yeah.
in the last 7 days, and people have an opportunity to go there and donate. As we are in the process of setting it up as a 503c. And also, what's already happening is we have other BNI members that are
Hmm.
donating Simons. So
Oh,
one can donate monetarily or
or something.
one can donate
Cool.
Simons.
All right. Good. Well, we'll definitely put a link in the comment below to, you know, show people where to go and what to do and all that kind of stuff. That would be a great thing, I think. Yeah.
We
That'd be awesome.
appreciate
That'd be
that.
awesome. That'd be awesome. So where do you see yourself going in the future? You know, what's either with that or the insurance education or driver training, any other kind of education you're looking to do?
Well,
It's only you out there too, you know. So
yeah, it's only me. And you know, it's interesting. That's an interesting question because especially at my age, which isn't
which
old,
is like
64,
35 or
64 is
something,
not,
right?
yeah,
35. Yeah.
60, 64. I don't have a problem saying 64. 64 is not old. But in our industry, a lot of people anticipate or expect that you're retiring.
Yeah. I get
And
that too.
when I say this is the second greatest calling to pastoring, if one is called by God to be a pastor, then they never retire.
Yeah. Right.
They're always pastoring God's people. Well, in the insurance industry, I don't see myself down the road, as long as I'm physically fit,
Yeah.
retiring. So now I'm in the stage of licensing. What a great opportunity to help build a future of quality insurance agents and
Yeah.
brokers with a passion that you really want quality insurance agents and brokers like Howard.
So there you
Education. They have to have continuing education
right.
to keep their license in force. What a great opportunity to offer the courses that we offer through the simplicity that we offer to help them with their education,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
helps me always learning. So on the insurance side, I don't see it stopping. Driver education, using our state as an example, the program that I'm teaching tomorrow helps people save, and you've taken this course,
Yeah.
hundreds of dollars on their
Oh
automobile
yeah, for
insurance.
sure.
As long as I am healthy to teach the course and able to speak, I love teaching the course. So I will continue to do that. And part of what's developing now is I've become a master connector and I'm connecting people all over this globe.
Yeah.
And I'm doing, especially in the insurance industry, mentoring and consulting.
Mhm.
So again, as long as I'm physically fit to be able to speak and do that, it's going to be for years to come.
And that will keep you by doing that. That keeps your brain moving forward. And yeah,
And when I'm
that's
not
all.
doing it, Howie, I play with the
You
Simons
play with the Simon. There you go. Or knit or do it at the
or
same time.
knit.
Can you knit and do Simon at the same time? I don't
No,
know. No, that's all.
No, I haven't. No, I'm not that good at multitasking, but no. And I do not want to take one of the needles by accident and stab my Simon.
Okay. What? So I want to go back. You told us a story about the driver training with maybe some teenagers or young people. What was it? Tell us a little about that. That was an amazing story. I remember hearing.
Well, driver education, what's developed from that is it started out as the New York State Point Insurance Reduction course, which we've got millions of people in this state with the ability to take that and save money on their automobile insurance. And it works naturally with the insurance industry.
Sure.
So that's how it started. Along that journey, I was blessed and took the opportunity, always wanting to learn, to become a 5-hour pre-licensing instructor. So in that journey, that gives you the opportunity to do in-car lessons and also prepare individuals, no matter what age in New York, for the course that's required before they set for the road test.
Right.
So again, I take that very passionately because in defensive driving, my tagline has been saving lives one class at a time.
Yeah.
Because that's the goal. I'll say that in tomorrow's class. If I change or save the life of one person there, hopefully more than one, that's what the goal is.
Yeah. Yep.
So in the driver education on the 5-hour side came an opportunity at Dutchess Community College and at BOCES and in Dutchess County and in Westchester County to offer a course that I got certified through National Safety Council called Alive at 25. And in that course, we build relationships with the courts in the communities in Dutchess County and Westchester County. And now there were 7 of us at Dutchess. It's down to 2 of us. But now the courts send young drivers between the age of 16 and 25 to see Paul for 4 hours as an alternative to the sentence or the violation that they've committed, and for repeat offenders. So for me, it's a huge blessing. I get to work with 16 to 25-year-olds at age 64. I relate with them. They know I care. They know that I don't want something happening to them. I show them a friend of mine who lost her parents, who was paralyzed for life on her way home from her college graduation. I show them a personal friend of mine that I grew up with in Newburgh, who I was 19 when I met him. He was 16. He's 3 years younger than me, 61 now, and has been waking up for the last 12 years with no left leg and no left arm. So I get very passionate, very emotional about it. And with these troubled young drivers who have a lot of issues going on, demonstrate to them that I care, but while caring, I'm going to put my foot in their butt if they're not being serious about driving because they don't want to wake up tomorrow with no left leg and no left arm. They have to find other ways to entertain themselves, not on the road.
Exactly. So that's I mean, that was really you've got a million of these awesome stories that
that's
really,
a blessing. That's a blessing. Yeah, I mean, huge blessing.
Really feel you can feel your passion and you can get that passion and energy across to the people you're talking to and make a huge difference in people's lives. So we did some math a while ago about how many people you've taught and the potential of how many lives you could have saved by doing that stuff. And those people never know that you had a hand in that, but you did.
That's another blessing. Yeah. That's another blessing, Howard, that comes back over time, keeps coming back over time, which is great. You never know the effect you're having on someone's life.
Right.
So in driver education, as an example, years later, I've had either students sending a letter right to the company or to the Department of Motor Vehicle that end up returned to me on something that they felt helped save their lives. Example, I have a woman who took my 6-hour class 6 times so far.
Oh my God, yeah.
And what happened with her is one of the things I teach in the class is keeping your wheels straight when making a left-hand turn until you're ready to complete the turn.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people get up against the line with their wheels turned,
to the
hit in the rear, get pushed in the other lane.
Oh.
And early in my career, a woman shared and got emotional, started crying. Her husband was killed right in front of her home.
Oh my gosh.
So I've been talking about that for years. Well, this woman, bad habit. We all have bad habits. She sent a letter to the state, description of the accident and everything. She got hit by a bus. School buses make mistakes too. A school bus. pushed 75 feet forward into her, stayed in her lane because she had her wheels straight and stayed in the center of the lane, and a tractor trailer coming the other way would have taken her out.
Oh my
And
gosh.
all of them put this in a
Of
report
course.
and then put it in letter form and then sent it in about Paul. When it's not about Paul, it's about saving lives.
It's
That's what
about
it's
saving
about.
lives. It's one thing, people take these classes thinking, oh, I'm just taking it. I'll spend some time. I'll save money on my insurance, all that kind of stuff. That's the least benefit of it. You want to live? Take the class. I mean, that's really what's going on here.
And I had a young girl recently sent a message in that from the college. So in this program from the courts, and of course these are troubled young people, so they're not happy with police officers. They've gotten multiple
That's the whole
tickets.
issue, right?
They're not happy with the court who
Mhm.
says, okay, now you're going to go attend a class on a Saturday morning at 9. In
Mhm.
class, we have discussions and they share it with me often. On Saturday, I usually don't get up until 1 or 2. So I laugh a little bit to myself as they're going through the adulting process. And what happens is I show a video on what's called a washdown, on what happens when a serious traffic accident occurs and someone is either fatally injured or badly injured,
Uh-huh.
like my friend who lost his arm and
Right.
leg. So a young girl sends a message the day after a class once. She sends me a text message that I receive on a Sunday night. And I got all emotional. I said to my wife, and I showed it to my wife, and I showed it to the college, and she sent to me, and the people that help us put this together with the judicial system in Dutchess County.
Right.
The young girl says, Paul, you don't understand the effect you have on people's lives. Generally, I would be traveling from work from Dutchess County over to Connecticut on
Yeah.
84, and I'd be doing 90 to 100 miles an
Oh
hour.
man.
And she was in for speeding.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I get a lot of students for speeding.
Okay.
And she said, after taking your class yesterday, I decided to slow it down to the mid 70s. So I'm laughing because she's still
Still
speeding, right?
speeding.
But that's better than 90s
Better
and
than
100.
100. Yeah.
And she says, on the way to work today, I came up upon an automobile collision and the fire department was there washing down the road.
Mm.
And I thought about what you had just taught me
Mm.
yesterday, and I began to start thinking about slowing down. So I'm
Yeah.
doing like 20 miles an hour less than what I would normally do. And then I also thought about, which was amazing for a young person, I thought about what if I was speeding like I normally do, and that could have been me.
Yeah. If she was a little
Maybe
bit
because
ahead, then
maybe because
right
I slowed down.
down.
That was the most
Ooh.
interesting part of the message I received that I took
Yeah.
away. I'm like, a young person realized
Hmm.
that this could have happened to them.
Yeah.
These are the blessings of
Yeah.
teaching.
For sure. For sure. You never know. That's right. That's awesome. So Paul, this has been an awesome conversation. I love talking to you and having you on my classes. You always add value, no matter where you are. So I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you being here. So everybody out there, if you know someone who is I'll say as crazy, passionate, emotional, and adds value to wherever they go, put their name in the comments, call me, do whatever. Let's get them on the show so they can share their value to everybody too. So whether it's your business, your family, your finances, your organization, whatever it is, remember it's money that make those gears turn. Make sure your money is working the most optimal way it can. Thanks for being here, Paul.
Thank you, Howard. It's been a blessing.
Yep. Thanks.